Who is it?
Captain Ethos, sir.
What is it, Captain?
Hello, sir. I have some concerns about this mission.
And they are?
Everything, sir.
Elaborate.
Sir, this mission, it's completely absurd. Siding with the Zeons, it's insane. How can the Federation government be on board with a joint operation with our former foes?
Do you not forget what happened last year, Lieutenant? The hostage crisis on Luna. The Federation and Zeon forces worked together to liberate those political captives.
But a joint operation?
The Federation officials at the top are currently in talks with the government of Psi-3 and the Princess Maneva to grant them permission to form their own law enforcement militia once again.
But why? The Zeons are dangerous. What if they rise again and start another war?
This new colonial army will be under the protective watch of the Princess Maneva and Londo Bell. The Princess Maneva has been extremely successful in working to restore the broken bonds between the Earth and those of space, creating a more cooperative force to protect the colonies from extremists like the Neo-Zeons will ensure that further conflicts can be prevented in the future.
I still don't trust any of this. First the Laplace Crisis, and now this.
I agree with your concerns. The Zeon forces can't always be trusted. However, this mission will be going forward regardless of how you yourself feel.
But there's been no public statement. The operation into the colony hasn't been unveiled to the public yet. I thought this mission was supposed to be a show of collaboration.
The government fears the outcome if this mission should fail. If the Zeons were to betray us in the middle of the operation, or the mission itself would fail against the target, then it would be seen as a major blunder in the pursuit of peace.
So, this mission will be stricken from the record?
Until the time the Federation deems that it's the proper time to unveil it to the people, yes.
So, what approach should we be taking when it comes to this mission?
One that reminds us to be vigilant, not just from the Zeons, but from who your opponent will actually be in this coming mission.
But
it doesn't matter. That place is a den of killers and criminals. They've remained uncontested for over 5 decades, and with the rumors of who they've got supporting them now, this mission will have to be carried out with the utmost care.
I understand, sir.
Now go. Prepare your forces for deployment. You will be leaving in 10 days for Sweetwater, and may God protect you.
Yes, sir.
Ethos. Choose your men wisely. You will be entering one of the most powerful criminal havens in the entire Earth sphere. You may be only there to capture only a few key targets, but it doesn't change the fact that that colony has had a strong influence over space for a long time.
Yes, I understand. I will make certain of this.
Go.
Have you made contact yet?
Yes, ma'am. Laser comms had been established with the ship.
Patch him through.
Ah, Princess Maneva. It's been quite the many years. I am honored.
You can dispense with the pleasantries, Commander Valen. I have no desire to be flattered by someone such as you.
What's wrong, Princess? I hope I didn't offend you.
I know about what you've been doing.
And what could that possibly be?
Tiger Bomb. I know you've been speaking with Takura Nishimura in order to acquire illegal arms for your forces.
With all due respect, Princess, you know our stance on your plans for this colonial militia. You think you can try to hound me, girl? You hold no authority over my men, and we do not recognize your authority over us. This collaboration you proposed is nothing but a farce.
You've been ordered to stand down. Accept these orders or action will be taken.
I will not. Your alliance with the Federation is an insult. You're placating the greedy officials who'd see our people continue to be ground into the dirt. I see your actions for what they are. The words of a puppet, the actions of a traitor to her people.
You forget your place. You forget that you are all former subordinates of my father's command. I will not have the security of our people be jeopardized.
So you side with the Fedi bastards who were guilty for the same atrocities you yourself denounce.
Coming from the man who once fought on the side of a bloodthirsty usurper.
Don't you dare mention his name.
His actions shattered our people. It is because of men like Lemmy Toto that Neo-Zeon has no way of developing the kind of partnership that the people of Side 3 need in order to progress. He attempted to overthrow the only system of government that was holding our people together.
Only because the real people were being crushed under the influence of your forebears. Do you not realize how much damage Hamon's reign had caused while she ruled in your stead? I will never bend the knee to a child who never saw the fires of war that took our nation's freedom. A girl who was once the puppet of a tyrant, and a leader who refuses to see the quest of her nation's host be fulfilled. You dare speak of collaboration and cooperation with our enemies, where it is us, the real people of Side 3, who do not share such sentiments.
And what would you know about the sentiments of our people? Huh, Valen? You ran when Glemmy was defeated. You did not answer the call when Shar Aznable summoned the banners of us all when he rebelled. We achieved a dialogue with the Plaza's box, and now, when the autonomy of our nation has been revoked, now you choose to fight against the peace that we all deserve.
I would rather see the seven sides burn before I see the Federation govern our people's security.
And I will see you in chains if you dare to light that fire.
I will never yield.
Then you will pay the price.
I would rather die fighting than obey the orders of a traitor. Goodbye, Princess.
Hey, Ethos!
Hello, Val.
What brings you back here to this old dump?
Unfortunately, business.
As always, Mr. Military Man, always looking for the next promotion. What is it now? Lieutenant? Colonel now?
It's captain now.
Ooh, commanding your own ship. Must be nice.
Do you know where he is?
He's not gonna listen to you, if that's what you're asking.
I know, but I need his help on this one.
Might I ask where you're taking him?
Somewhere he's not going to like going.
Wherever it is, you're not gonna be able to convince him. Sure as hell I haven't when it comes to anything.
I need his help. He's the only person I've got who can help me with this. Can you just tell me where he is?
Fine. Carter! You got a visitor!
He's still working on that piece of junk?
Hey, you gotta appreciate a man's hobbies.
But that thing is a relic, not to mention an aquatic suit. How does he expect to use anything like that in space?
Hey, you gotta have some respect. At least he finds some joy in it. Carter! Get your ass out from under there and say hello!
Why are you here?
Hello, Carter.
I asked why you're here.
I need your help. Command has a mission.
I'm not doing another mission with you.
Look, I know I screwed up last time, but it's been years since the last time.
Years? Do you remember what happened last time you were put in charge?
I do.
You nearly got my whole squad killed. Garson, he knew it was a trap, but you didn't even listen to him. We failed that mission because of that ego of yours.
I know, and I've tried to make up for it.
You should have accepted the sentence the tribunal gave you.
I know, but my dad...
You should have spoken up when he bribed that judge.
I didn't know that until after the trial.
You're Londo Bell, Ethos. You should have exposed those idiots who proposed that shit show of an operation years ago.
Carter,
Why in God's name do you think that I would want to go with you again?
Because you're the only one I know who could actually get us out of this alive.
What is the mission?
The top brass. They're having me be in command of this next op. However, the bureaucrats have no idea of how dangerous this mission is. Only my superiors, myself, and you at this point. The Federation sees it as a show of strength and cooperation, but a job like this, I fear their overconfidence.
Where are they sending you?
For you. Everything I can share with you.
What is it? Seriously?
Yes.
After all these years, he's He's finally reappeared. It's been over 10 years. Why are they trying to catch him now?
Because of this. He's been busy rallying scarce remnants to his cause. The Federation fears their potential impact on their aims to secure peace with the Psi-3 cluster.
Why? The Zeon remnants are all but extinct. Ever since the Laplace Crisis, they've crumbled and faded.
Not these ones. They're not remnants from Char's rebellion. This man, we know him. We fought this man during the first Neo-Zeon War. The Glemmy faction, they were believed to be extinct after that war, but it seems a couple of his ships were not accounted for.
But why is the Federation making a move? We knew the man was out there, but now? Why? What is it, Ethos?
It's because of what he's been doing as of late, and where he's been sitting all this time.
Where? Where is he?
That's the real problem. One I felt that I had to be the one to let you know personally. This is big, Carter. Very big.
Why?
Because of this. This is who he's been sided with.
What's wrong?
So that's why you need me. To get you inside?
No, I
spent my entire life trying to escape from that world. And now you want my help to get you in?
You're the most knowledgeable person I know of when it comes to that colony. ECOWAS has been monitoring them for years. With the forces he's amassed with your people's help, he now stands a legitimate threat to Psi-3. He's been even making moves on neighboring colonies and Federation convoys.
I won't do it.
Please.
Get out.
I'm sorry, Carter. I'm sorry to have bothered you. If you ever reconsider, my offer still stands.
Ethos, wait!
That went about the way I expected it to go.
I'm sorry. He's just not as talkative as he used to be.
I figured. It was worth a shot.
I'll try talking to him.
Thanks. Well, I'll be leaving now. My ship leaves next week. If you need anything during then, I'm here to help.
See you around.
You too.
This is Patrol Team 9 to the Voghera. Come in, Voghera. Patrol Team 9 to Voghera. Please respond. Anything? Nothing. Why aren't they responding? I don't know. Minovsky particle density is abnormally high. Enough to get a message through to them, but still enough to interfere with my sensors. Can you at least get a visual? No. Wait. I see it. 10 o'clock high. Try hailing them again. Patrol Team 9 to Voghera. Please respond. This is Carl Gordon of the EFSF Alexandria-class warship Anatolia. Please acknowledge. Still nothing.
I've got no beacons from it.
I see lights coming from the ship. You think their relay's busted?
I'm gonna lay it on the catapult.
Roger. Circle around those asteroids. Get us a good view of the area.
Sir, I made contact.
And?
Sir, I'm not receiving anything via my suit's contact link.
Can you at least signal the bridge?
Let me see. Wait. What the?
Corporal?
The bridge. Its blast shields are down. I can't see inside.
Stevens, return to the Anatolia. Tell him we got a problem.
Roger.
What the?
What the hell was that? Sir, I'm detecting a massive energy spike from underneath the ship. What the? It just blasted off. What the? Multiple projectiles closing in from all around. Missiles? No, they can't be. Not these flight paths. Where the hell are you? Funnels? So, that's why the ship has gone silent. What did you do to it, you monster? I need to get to cover. Yeah! Yeti?
How's the unit's performance? Any abnormalities?
Somewhat, ma'am. The machine's power levels are all stable. However, we're reading some abnormal psychowave distribution signals from the reactive armor.
Has the suit passed the threshold?
It will momentarily, but it seems the Psychomu is still having a slow time registering with the pilot's mind.
How are the funnels?
They're functioning well. The machine has succeeded in neutralizing 4 targets.
Such power, but we still haven't been able to crack it. We've been at this for weeks. Why won't the pilot's mind connect?
Would the pilot themselves be the problem, ma'am? I know that this suit was once engineered for the use of a different kind of cyber new type.
Zeon once built these things and fielded them with the use of experimental cyber new type clones. Unfortunately, there are none of them left, and the original pilot of this particular suit unfortunately died many years ago. It's unfortunate that for this experiment, we're forced to make use of such scrapped technologies, but it's all we've got until now. Continue to modify the variables to find the most effective output, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Commander on deck.
At ease.
Commander Valen, you just missed the test.
Never mind that for now. Has the ship been fully seized?
Yes, and all of its cargo remains intact.
Good. Send a message to Tiger Bomb. Have your team be ready for the ship's arrival.
Yes, sir.
How's the pilot?
Her vitals are stable. No abnormal activity from the machine either. However, we are having some issues with her connection to the Psychomu.
I see. Once the tests are complete, I want the pilot and the machine moved back to the main fleet.
Why? Wouldn't it be better if we kept testing the Papillion here?
No. Mr. Nishimura has been extremely vocal about having the experiment be completed at a location where he himself cannot observe.
But he's just a beneficiary. Why does he care?
The man doesn't seem to like it when he's kept out of our affairs. He thinks that because he served with the principality that he deserves our respect as an elder.
That man is a craven parasite.
Regardless of what he thinks and how we feel, he's the only reason our operation is even staying afloat right now. We have to remain in his good graces at least for the time being. At least until we can finally be rid of him.
Any news from the Psi-3 government?
Unfortunately, those cowardly bootlickers are determined to side with the princess. Despite what I know of those officials, it seems they'd rather be in the Federation's good graces and stand up for their own people's desires.
Zeon's dream. Do you think it will ever be realized?
Zeon's dream? No, I don't think so. Not in our lifetimes.
But what about Shar? I thought you valued the heir to Zeon's crusade.
There were many people in my life I put my faith in. But Shar, he might have been the heir to Zeon, but I could see him for what he was. The man betrayed us. He was never on our side, not truly, at any point. I saw the broadcast of his speech at Dakar. Such passion, such profound strength. But his rallies during his rebellion, I could see that look in his eyes. Those eyes, nothing but despair. The desire to see the world burn down rather than be freed. If people judge me a coward for leaving when Glemmy and his forces fell, then he's guilty for that same crime. For not coming to our aid when Hamon's reign was at its most cruel. For using his sheer presence to rally our weakest into a suicidal pact. I will have no part of it. You will find our own way.
Then why did you choose Glemmy? If I recall, there was a time long ago when you stood by Hamon yourself.
The man was a fool. A gullible and stupid fool. Regardless, he did get the people to realize that Hamon's reign was crushing them. I once served under Hamon Karn, but only briefly. And I could tell right away what kind of leader she was turning out to be. Men like Rakan Dakran and I were some of the few who managed to see it.
I see. So what do you aim to accomplish?
I aim for something better. A higher purpose. Zeon needs a leader. A real leader. A leader who isn't stupid like Glemmy, as vain as Hamon, is truly stronger than Shar, and shows no complacency like that of the Princess Maneva.
And you hope to be that leader?
My only hope is to see my people, my family, and all of those who fight beside me freed.
I see it now. This must be why you made her the pilot.
No, and unfortunately, until my mission is fulfilled, there are some things, like her, I will always be bound to.
Will their new army really try to attack us?
I know it. That storm is coming, and it is approaching faster than we realize.
I see.
We need to be ready. Has your contact been able to give us the details on that briefing?
Not yet. They're saying that they'll be sending it to us once the ship leaves in 5 days.
Seems like we'll be working close to the wire. I'm counting on that intel.
Understood.
Finish with the testing. Once she's done, have her be sent to rest ASAP.
Yes, sir.
Have our men managed to commandeer the vessel?
Yes, sir. The ship's transponder has been disabled. The ship is ours.
Good. Helmsman, set course for Tiger Bomb. Send word to our forces.
Yes, sir.
Commander, you wanted to speak with me.
Yes, I have urgent news.
What is it?
Your orders are being moved up. General Staff Headquarters has moved up the date of your mission by 8 days.
Why? What happened?
A ship belonging to Headquarters that was undergoing a highly classified assignment was just attacked by Valen's forces. It appears that the entire ship has been taken, along with all of its highly sensitive materials within its cargo manifest.
Did the Federation send a retrieval team?
The forces sent to meet up with the ship had been ambushed upon arrival. Once the forces intended to rendezvous with it were wiped out, we lost contact with the ship entirely.
What was the ship carrying?
Unfortunately, I'm not inclined to say. Therefore, General Staff Headquarters has just dispatched a representative to assist you on your mission.
Are we to attempt to recover the ship?
The ship's cargo is far more valuable. In all likelihood, if the materials in question have been seized, then they must be destroyed to prevent them from falling into the hands of the enemy.
I understand.
How goes your preparations?
Smoothly, sir. However, I'm still a little confused on why you're sending us these old mobile suits in this latest shipment of supplies. I was expecting us to be given the gestas that this mission had outlined.
The units you're being given are extremely high quality in terms of performance. They may be over 10 years old, but you won't find them any less effective.
Really?
In fact, there are statistics that suggest that these units are even more effective than the traditional units that the Federation employs.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I'll see to it that they're put to good use.
Very good. Continue with your work, Captain.
Really? Brooding in the dark?
I just want to be left alone for a while.
Hey, it's been a long time since then.
Yeah,
We met just after that happened to you.
we did. You were just young cadets back then, flying the simulators, the training exercises. Who was that one kid who fell down in his Nemo on the first day?
Danny.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to him.
Not sure. A lot of us went our separate ways after the war.
I hope he's doing all right nowadays.
And after all these years, after all the time I've known you, I've never pressured you to come out and talk about it. I know it's a very private thing for you, but with what Ethos showed you, it feels like something's different about all this. But it's been 10 years since then. You still haven't told me the entire story of how you ran away. Please, you've been growing so distant. I don't want to see you miserable like this anymore.
Fine. As long as you do one thing for me.
What's that?
Get me a drink.
Sure.
My father was a smuggler. He made his millions off of selling illegal goods. Drugs, weapons, mobile suits, even people.
I already knew that part. Pretty scary stuff if I'm being honest.
Before I was born, he was already at the top of his career. My mom was, in the eyes of everyone else, a very expensive prize, if you will. When I was born, though, his views on her declined. When she died years later, I once heard him say to one of his friends that he couldn't stand me, as he thought a child had just tainted her loyalties to him. And when my sister was born, worsened even further, until the abuse finally got the better of her. One day, I told my dad that it was his fault she died. I told him that I wanted no part of his constant depravity, that I was going to go take my sister and leave. But
what?
He said I could go. However, on one condition. That if I left and took my sister with me, that he'd swear that he'd see me in a shallow grave the moment I stepped out of the door.
That's awful. So, what did you do?
I did the only thing a kid like me could do. I ran. Despite my father's words, he still had people try to find me. The AUG at the time was the only place where I felt safe back then. And since the war had ended the way that it did, I think he assumed that I died, and that was that.
Did you know your father was still alive until you saw that photo?
I always knew he was out there.
And from what Ethos had shown you, the man's now embroiled in some mess with the Neo-Zeons?
Yeah.
And your sister? I get it.
I don't know what happened to her. I heard through the grapevine that she was married off to some rich guy, but died not long after.
I'm sorry. can I maybe suggest something?
Hmm?
Perhaps this is a good thing. Maybe with an opportunity like this, you can finally get some closure. If Ethos captures him, maybe then you can finally confront him.
I spent such a long time trying to get away from him, though.
And seeing him in chains for his crimes might finally set you free. Please, do it for yourself.
You know you're the only person who can actually get me to do something as stupid as this, right?
I know I am. That's why I picked you.
All right. Fine. I'll re-accept his offer. Wow. I've never been on one of these ships before. Saw them all over the place during the late 0080s, but never actually got a chance to go on one in person.
Yeah, she's a little older. The Rock Hyloom classes definitely have more of an edge over the Argamas, but she's got it exactly where it counts.
And is that?
Yes, one Musaka. They call her Pasm's Passion. She's the current flagship of the Princess Minerva's chosen guard force for this mission. She's escorted by those two Endras you can see. They belong to the Colonial Army as well.
And those mobile suits? I've never seen that type before.
Zakuroas. The Colonial Army has been developing them for their own security purposes. I've seen them in action. They're not that bad. Very fast and adept in combat, it seems. The Colonial forces will have a few more machines that brought along with them to help us out.
What about us? What's our mobile suit situation?
Follow me. 12 mobile suits. We've got an old Columbus Kai that'll be carrying our main garrison squadron of Jagans, though. The Salamis cruisers that'll be joining us will have 6 each as well. With the Zeons, it'll be a fleet comprised of 9 ships.
That's a lot of firepower for a mission like this.
The ship needs the proper support to defend herself. We've got quite the arsenal granted for this mission, not to mention the fact we'll be going toe-to-toe with a well-equipped opponent.
Seems a little ramshackle if you ask me. A lot of these suits are pretty old, all things considered. You're even still using Nemo 3s?
We just have the 2. Our real showstoppers, though, are those mass production type Zetas you see over there.
I thought those things could transform.
Yeah, unfortunately not. However, their performance is perfect for what we're going to need in this fight.
You really certain about that?
Absolutely.
What's that one?
That, my dear, is our ace in the hold.
What is that?
It's not a Rezel.
Nope. That, my friend, is a Gundam.
A Gundam?
Yep. The Z2X2.
We like to call her the double Z2.
Z2?
Ah, Miss Collins. Walter, Val, this is Renea Collins, our joint representative from General Staff HQ.
Pleasure to meet you.
You as well.
So this thing is a Gundam?
She's one of the grandparents of the Rezel.
How does she perform?
She was completed shortly after the first Neo-Zeon War, but her project was cancelled and this unit was mothballed along with her sisters. I pulled some strings to get her out of storage, get this unit the glory it deserves for once. She's largely been maintained with the help of parts from other mobile suits like the Rezel. Despite these retrofits, her performance is actually considerably better overall, it seems.
How is that possible if she's older?
Don't you know about what Anaheim does? They always build their prototypes to higher standards than their mass production counterparts. This machine, despite being 5 years apart from the Rezel, is about 50% more powerful. She releases an output of over 115,000 kilos of thrust on average.
That's insane. In space, that's nuts for a mobile suit.
Which is why I want you to pilot it.
Me?
Yes. The captain told me that you piloted a Methus Kai back in the day, yes?
Yeah, but that thing's power was nothing compared to this. What makes you think I'd be able to do it?
Familiarity. The Rezel and the Methus operate on similar principles. The double Z2 you see here follows the exact same rules and control concepts.
What about me? Aren't you giving me a suit?
I'm actually going to be giving you that.
What is that? A fighter?
It looks kind of like it can transform.
It's a gift from the Colonial Army. The propagandists over at Side 3 really want a suit to give this mission a proper poster boy, boost the idea of collaboration between us. What you're looking at is the Lindworm.
Lindworm?
Consider it a facelift. The Neo-Zeons back in the day had a suit called the Bawu. You may have heard of them from back in your time with the AUG.
I think I remember seeing them one time. Never up close and personal with them, though. Those kinds of suits I heard were a bit of a rarity.
It was essentially a twin-seater transformable suit that could separate into 2 smaller subfighter craft. For this mission, they gifted us this Bawu they retooled into a single-seater with a Zeta-style makeover.
How does she fly?
Extremely well. Despite using an older base model, the machine has had its internals completely overhauled with newer versions. You might want to consider taking her for a test flight before the mission to get the feeling of her. She's very nimble and unlike the stuff I'm told you're used to.
Oh, I bet. She probably handles way faster than that rusty old Brit Diaz I was so used to.
Well, I'm needed on the bridge. I'll have one of my men show you to your quarters. We leave port tomorrow at 0500.
I must be going too. I have reports for HQ that have to be sent.
It was nice meeting you.
You too.
What is it?
I never thought I'd see Gundams in the flesh.
What's so special about them? They're just like every other mobile suit out there.
Not ones like these.
What do you mean?
When I was a kid, I remember seeing footage of Gundams on the battlefield. Heck, the original Zeta Gundam from the Grips War and the Gundam team of the first Neo-Zeon War were all stationed on board an Arc Gamma just like this.
I never took you for the nostalgic type.
It's not nostalgia that I'm feeling.
What is it then?
Dread?
Huh?
Gundams have been at the forefront of every major conflict for the past 20 years. Seeing suits like this for a mission like this, it really makes me worry. You know, they're sending us with a substantial amount of forces, but I'm not sure if the higher-ups know what they're really getting their hands into. I mean, they didn't even give us the best ship for the job. Not even that, the personnel are all pretty green by the looks of them. And all of these suits, they're pretty outdated if you look at these Gundam types in comparison. I just have a feeling this isn't gonna go well.
I think you're a little too worried about this. It's not like we're going to be going into a dense war zone. At most, this will be a raid or two on a couple of compounds, or maybe a fleet battle.
I mean, if he's really there, we might be in for something bigger.
Do you mean with Commander Valen? Or your father?
Both. Valen is different, though. He's an enemy the Federation is accustomed to fighting. Zeon remnants have been a common threat that these soldiers have had to deal with for years. What worries me about Valen is his mind. The man was able to take down a whole 5-ship fleet with only a single warship back in the day. And with that guy now having a bunch of ships under his belt like the rumors say, this guy really must mean business.
What should we do then?
We do what Ethos has been telling all of us. We be vigilant